Welcome to me, or Demon Slant, it's me, Spike Goes here. Coming to a video. In this video, I am actually going to be doing a part 2 or 3, is it, of the Owl House characters as dragons. And this part I used Amity, Warden Wrath, along with Hunter, and everyone's least favorite character, and the one I hate the most, Emperor Bellis, aka Philip Woodbane, and I do foreshadow a hoping future special that takes place as a crossover for the Boiling Isles, which is actually a real place in this universe, and my universe, which is going to take place after the series finale. So, see ya then. Actually, correction, until then, let's roll intro, let's get into this video, and let's go. Hope y'all enjoy. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Okay, it's been a while since the last one over some dragons. Where are we? This is an interesting one. Okay, back to the Boiling Isles. These 4 dragons are all relatively more powerful than the last few. The last one being some of the most hated dragons around, although there is only one species that has been known to self-replicate itself every now and again. But also create the second to last species. Well, you'll understand what I'm talking about in a few minutes. The first dragon is known as the Abomination Control Dragon, or the Abomagon. These dragons usually have a crest on their head that resembles like a mohawk or horns that is usually green, but as they get older, it actually turns into a pinkish color, along with their lower jaw, which also turns from a pinkish color to a full-on pink color as well. Now, their wings are actually made up of the type of magical goop known as abomination goop. This stuff is relatively volatile when left exposed in the sun for a few weeks, or you can speed it up using a cruel sun spell or something like that. But anyways, this gives them the ability to control it and allows them to fly. These dragons do have to make a circle with their tail every now and again, but some of them have evolved to the point that they can have a gland in their body that can actually secrete this abomination goo themselves, so they don't even really need to use it. And the fun fact about the species is that they actually mostly have children with another species that are from the same area. Although some are either one or the other of the parents, but there are a few rare hybrids of them. And the dragon I'm talking about is a wyvern, the glyph using Spanish wyvern to be more accurate. They are extremely rare. They're hybrids, that is extremely rare. And they both have the ability to use both the glyphs and the abominations, but also use any other type of magic due to the glyphs' effects on them. But other than that, these are extremely powerful versions of some other dragons that have been on the island for a lot longer. But anyways, that's all for this one. Let's move on to the next one. The second one today is the type of dragon that is very, very violent and also a very big pain to deal with for the residents of this island. It is mostly kept in check by some more powerful dragons, like the Emperoristic Wyvgon, which is something I will go over later. This is known as the tiny-eyed shape-shifting Warden Wyvgon, or the Warden Wyvgon. You see, there are very few of these species around because of their potent powers and all. They have the ability to breathe fire, but don't really need to use magic like most other dragons have to in order to survive on this island. You see, they just nearly fully rely on their fire-breathing skills, along with their actual shape-shifting abilities. These are a type of Wyvern that have learned and actually fully evolved to the point they can actually spit fire from their mouths. But they have near horrendous eyesight because of how small their eyes are. Now, the reason why I say near horrendous eyesight is because some of them actually have better eyesight than that of eagle dragons. Eagle dragons referring to dragons that are usually types of dragons that take their eyesight from eagles or have an eagle-like face. Pretty much any dragon with a beak and has some sort of eagle eyesight or something. Pretty much those ones are very effective at sight, but the trade-off for that ability is their fire attacks aren't as good. But we're going to be looking at a specimen I found that has been governing a cavern-like area with a human form, well, a humanoid form. He's known as the Warden. I forget his real name. Oh yeah, Warden Wrath. His draconic abilities mostly show up on his back and his arms. You see, these Wyverns have an unusual set of arms. Unlike your usual Wyverns that have arms just spreading out, and then a very stiff outer layer of wing membrane that usually gets weaker as he goes in. It's actually, it does go like that, but actually on the elbow, it sprouts off an entire different part of the wing, like most dragons have, to help them fly. And then a thin membrane actually forms over it, with a thicker outer membrane covering it. Now, other than that, they also have a tail, like most other Wyverns. But Warden Wrath has learned to shrink his tail to the point most people don't realize he is actually a Wyvern. But they have figured it out now due to an upcoming event known as the Day of Unity there. It's gonna be a very nasty eclipse. Okay, this next dragon is a dragon I was referring to earlier. That the last one is always recreating over and over and over again. They're known as the Grimwalker dragons. The Grimwalker dragons usually take the form of whatever dragon you want them to take the form of. You just have to have imposing a will on them. Well, impose a will of what kind of dragon you want them to be. The last one always imposes the will for it to be a wyvern, because it had a brother that was a wyvern. The last dragon is actually a rare case of something I'll tell you about. But both the current species of this one, has actually lived the longest and has actually started to rebel against against its creator. So it gained the name of the Speeding Golden Guardian Wyvern, or the Golden Speeding Wyvern. It actually goes by the name Hunter in its human form. It has gained friends with some of the humanoid or draconic versions of the other ones, like an abomination, like an abomagon named Amity, and her humanoid, and well, for that, the humanoid version is, this is a full-blooded dragon in its human form that has actually became relatively good friends, and actually girlfriends, with another dragon known as Luce, Seda, that is actually a half-blood of a Spanish-using wyvern, which is her mother, and a regular human, which is her father. Her mother mostly keeps in her draconic form, and, well, not really even her mother. It's actually relatively far descendant But for some reason, Luz, using her imagination, has actually caused her powers to manifest. She does have the later ability to actually awaken the abilities and actually use the glyphs without even needing to draw them on a surface, that is. But she still will need to actually draw the full-on glyph in the air. But it's more like a holographic projection. But if she can actually memorize the glyphs enough, she can actually keep a solid image in her head and actually project them out with her hands in a golden light, which would actually project the element. And she would actually combine these elements or memorize the combination of the glyphs. She can actually use them. But anyways, that's far ahead. Let's move on to the last one. Now, this last dragon is the dragon I was talking to you about earlier. The Emperistic Wyvern, by far the most hated out of all of them. It's an upcoming event that I've done my own research that's actually happened every now and again. But this time it's actually going to actually happen. Where's the papers? Here we are. The Day of Unity. It's actually a day that's saying that the Boiling Isles will get rid of all wild magic. Wild magic being non-draconic witches. And this guy's a full-blooded human before that went to the islands to have them conquered before humans actually learned how to use magic themselves. But this guy has been devouring some other lesser dragons known as Pelagons. Pelagons are like familiars for more powerful dragons or dragonoids. He is by far one of the most hated by some of the other ones. Some of the other dragons include dragons, dragonoid versions of the hooting worm. But this one is actually a full-blooded dragon trapped in a house. Not really trapped, but chooses to live there. And funny enough, this dragon can't even use magic anymore, but it's by far a very scary ability of it. It is Eden, that's actually has the powers of the Owl Beast. Then there's Luz Naceda, the one I talked about earlier, with her abilities of the Glyph Wyvern, the demonic prince Drake known as King, along with Gus, the illusionist Amphiphere, and Willow, the plant-controlling wyvern. All of them are dragonoids except for Luz Naceda, who was a half-dragon, or a half-blood. The difference between a half-blood and a half-dragon and a half-blood and a dragonoid is that half-bloods are usually descendants of dragonoids or dragons. But this guy also goes by the name of the Amalgama Two-Faced Hunter Emperistic Wyvern. And as for his other case, he actually goes by Emperor Bellows. He actually became a dragonoid in order to actually fool these guys. He became the emperor about 50 years ago, and he has actually taken up and showing his draconic form currently. He actually flew in his draconic form and shapeshifted into his emperor form, his true form that is, and showed his face. Now I know who to target. Guy's name, Philip Whittlebane. I'm going to crush his spine along with the others. Well, I hope you have enjoyed today's video, because I'm afraid that's all the time I got for today. Until next time, subscribe to Jones, subscribe to me, or dim us lines. Goodbye, and peace out, everyone.